What is it all about?
Hello there. When I was 7, my friend Martin Hamilton ate a bee because nobody thought he would. And similarly, a couple of weeks ago, obvious cyborg living among us Elon Musk bought Twitter for an amount of money that came to the same total as the GDP of Iceland, the Bahamas, and hell, the Isle of Man too, since you asked. And because Elon's a bit odd and a guy who invented a child-murdering clown who turns into a spider said so, we all have to leave Twitter! But where do we go? There must be another social network, cried sub-editors desperate for content everywhere. And lo! Mastodon was born in 2016. But, Simon, what's it all about? Well, Mastodon is part of the Fediverse. Oh great, another verse I don't care about, Mark Zuckerberg. The Fediverse is a bunch of interconnected or federated servers used for web publishing and file hosting that all operate independently, but are able to talk to each other.
Okay, but how'd you get on it? Is it worth it? Can I have an NFT profile picture and message that bloke off the telly?
Basically, no. Not really, no.
But on the plus side, Mastodon is open source, and because it's spread over all the different servers, it means not one person or entity or electric car meme lord owns it.
Still curious? Well, the first thing you want to do is head to joinmastodon.org. Have a read of what they tell you about the thing. Look at the pretty colors. Oh, there's a picture of a dinosaur. Then once you click on Create Account, you'll be taken to the servers page, where you can decide which instance of Mastodon you want to join, and 99% of people will be like, nah, thanks, that's all right, I think I'll stick to Twitter, cheers though, bye. Instances are the interconnected servers I mentioned earlier, and they all talk to one another, so in theory, it doesn't really matter which one you join. You could pick one based on your region, or you can pick a topic, like art, or technology, or being a furry. There's enough people interested in being a furry that it's got its own category, huh? I clicked on music because why not? And one of the options was focused on metal music content, hosted in Germany and powered by 100% green energy. So that seemed like an obvious choice. Interestingly, if you use the mobile app to sign up, you don't see all the servers at once, only the ones you can get into immediately. For example, this Metalhead Club server I signed up to, I had to apply for, which meant typing in an email and the reason I wanted to join. 2 minutes later, I had the email, I clicked the thing, I was in. Now all you need to do is open up the interface in your web browser and try and work out how to move things around so that it makes any kind of sense. It's sort of reminiscent of TweetDeck, if you ever used that in the olden days. In your home column will be everything you and the people you follow tweet, and then in the other columns, once you've clicked on them and then pinned them and then moved them to where you want them, will be the local timeline, which is everything on the server that you've signed up to, which I sort of immediately regretted as a lot of it was in German. Then in one of the other columns, the federated timeline is Star Trek fanfiction. JK, it's everything on the entire Mastodon network, which you would think is a whole lot, but actually there's not that many people on it, so it's sort of quite manageable. If you're doing all this on mobile, it's not quite as obviously laid out. In fact, the official app I couldn't really get around, so I downloaded a different one called Metatext, which lets you lay it out in a column-based format that seems to make more sense, or at least to my TweetDeck trained brain. And now you're ready to go. All you have to do is find all your friends and the thousands of people you've amassed over years and years on Twitter. And guess what? There's no easy way to do that. There's a few random websites where you can log in with Twitter and Mastodon and they attempt to cross-reference the two to find out who's on which, but they don't really work. Or you can search Twitter for the word Mastodon, click the only people I follow, and then see if anyone's mentioned their Mastodon username in there, and then you can take that username and you can manually type it into Mastodon, or just search in the quite unreliable search of Mastodon to find all your friends in there. Honestly, after spending several hours to get to this point, I was like, No one I know is gonna get this far. What is literally the point? I've wasted the best part of a day. Do you really think Tina from HR's got time for this? Look, if you're the sort of person that loves Linux and streams all your media from a Plex server on a Raspberry Pi, then you are gonna feel right at home here. Or a Jellyfin server, am I right, nerds? There's not a camera there. But for the average schmuck like me who just wants to post stupid jokes, read other people's stuff, and put up links to his podcast and wildly inconsistent YouTube output, I think Twitter is going to be just fine. Don't get me wrong, competition is good, hate speech and bots are bad, but we've all spent years on the little flappy bluebird building up our followings and followers, and every time something like this happens, there's a huge furore. The Instagram feeds changed, I'm leaving. Facebook news feeds changed, I'm leaving. And then we all ultimately go crawling back, although admittedly maybe not to Facebook now that it's just full of your parents, but you get my point. If you've got this far in the video, you could be in with a chance of enjoying it. Come find me on Mastodon. I'll be there for at least the next week before inevitably deleting it and going back to Twitter.
Fun updates. In between filming this video and editing it and when you're watching it, Elon Musk has dropped another bombshell by demanding that all Twitter employees commit to an extremely hardcore workplace or leave with 3-month severance. To wit, over 1,000 of them were like,
Nah, thanks, that's all right. Cheers though, bye.
So maybe by the time you watch this, Twitter is crumbling under the weight of too much things happening and not enough engineers to fix it, and we all have to leave to Mastodon. Oh my god, more news as we have it. Bye!
Hey, and while you're here, arbitrarily smash that like button regardless of your feelings, and of course, click subscribe so that you can stay up to date with more inconsistent hit and miss material like this. See you next time. Let's hope it sounds okay.